Hello, estudiantes. Hoy estamos en capítulo 3 otra vez. Continuamos capítulo 3 en páginas 80 a 87, 80 to 87. I've had a bit of a cold, sorry for the congestion, but we will continue on. So we learned possessive adjectives, me, tu, tus, sus. We learned about gender and number agreement. Adjectives always agree, and gender and number with the noun that they modify. Today, we're going to learn ER and IR verbs. That's what the focus is going to be on today. We've already learned AR verbs. If the verb is hablar, it would be yo hablo, tú hablas, usted habla, nosotros hablamos, ustedes hablan. So ER and IR verbs have similar endings. We see ER verbs in comer en página 81. Yo como, tú comes, usted come, nosotros comemos, ustedes comen. IR verbs like vivir, yo vivo, tú vives, usted vive, nosotros vivimos, ustedes viven. So you can see that they're all the same except for nosotros forms, which is hemos or imos, depending on if it's ER or IR verbs. There are some important ER and IR verbs that we will find in this chapter. Some ER verbs are comer, beber, leer. We have aprender, we have comprender, creer, deber, leer, I already said that one, and vender. Some IR verbs are abrir, asistir, escribir, recibir, and vivir. Deber is like desear and necesitar, and it is followed by an infinitive. Debes leer tus emails todos los días. You should read your email every day. Aprender plus a plus an infinitive means to learn how to do something. Muchos niños aprenden a hablar español con sus abuelos. Página 82, número 3. English equivalents of the present tense. So, if you remember, we already went over this. The Spanish present tense has a number of present tense equivalents in English, and it can also be used to express future meaning, the immediate future. We have como could be I eat, I am eating, or I will eat. Subject pronouns, los usos de los pronombres personales. So in English, we have to have an express subject with a verb. The train arrives, she says. In Spanish, an express subject is not always required. Verbs are accompanied by a subject pronoun for clarification, emphasis, or contrast. So the clarification is provided whenever the context does not make the subject clear. The subject pronoun is expressed. This happens most frequently with the third person singular and plural forms. For emphasis, subject pronouns are used in Spanish to emphasize the subject when in English you would stress it with your voice. Tú debes pagar. You should pay. Contrast is a special case of emphasis. Two subject pronouns are used to contrast the actions of two individuals or groups. Ellos leen mucho, nosotros leemos poco. So you can avoid using subject pronouns in Spanish when they are not necessary. The overuse of subject pronouns can sound overbearing to native speakers of Spanish. So there's going to be a little bit of homework today. Say en página 83, Diego habla de su padre. Complete el siguiente párrafo con la forma correcta de los verbos entre parentheses. So you'll fill in the, you don't have to do comprensión, just the verb, just the part with the verbs. Conjugate the verbs correctly according to the subject. La nota comunicativa en página 84, 84, cómo expresar la frecuencia de las acciones. So you can read over this to learn some of the vocabulary and how it's used. La otra tarea está en página 86 a 87, 86 to 87, ejercicio B. Lengua y cultura, las familias. Complete the following paragraphs about families. Give the correct form of the word in parentheses as suggested by context. So you need to make sure that adjectives agree in gender and number, that verbs are conjugated correctly according to the subject. You don't have to do the comprensión, just the part where you fill, where you complete the paragraph. So that's all for today. Hopefully this will help you with the ER and IR verbs. Nos vemos mañana.